Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, you're definitely welcome. Today's video is about me telling you my personal experiences of why I was being denied entry into these countries. I mean, it's not like I can't still travel to all these places. That period was just probably not the right time for me to travel. So without too much talking, let's get into the video. After I finished from school, graduated from uni, I wanted to further myself in my passion, and that's makeup, because before I graduated from school I was already doing makeup. So I just wanted to have like a further experience in makeup. We began to apply. Me and my dad started to do searches for schools that do makeup, and so the first country that actually came to my mind was actually Canada. So I started searching for schools in Canada, and eventually I found one, and I got talking with the communications officer there. I mean, the admin officer there, and everything went smoothly, and I was given admission into the school. So the next thing for me to do was to apply for the visa. I did all that, got all my papers put in place, and I then went to the visa application office. So mind you, in the Canadian visa office they do not do any interviews, except things have changed now, because this was far back as 2014, 2015. I go over to the visa application office, the Canadian visa application office. You sit down, they give you a number, and when it's your number they call you over to the counter, and then you submit your documents. After your documents, you pay some amount of money, and I think you go to an office where they take your biometrics, and where after taking your biometrics you have to wait for when they will let you know when your visa is ready. So during this period you can actually track your application, because they actually send you a number where you track your application. So I kept tracking and tracking. That's how anxious I was, because I really loved Canada and I wanted to go to that place. So eventually, after almost 6 months or so, I got a text from them saying that I should come to the office and pick up my passport. I went there. When I opened the brown envelope, I saw I was being denied, or I was rejected, whichever one you call it. I was heartbroken, because I know the efforts I put in applying to go to the school. Even the school self had already given me school stuff in preparation for school and everything. So I was heartbroken, and at that period in time my dad wasn't around, so I called him to let him know what had happened. I informed the school that I was being denied, and the lady told me to keep trying, which was a great encouragement from the school. I was heartbroken. I didn't know how to handle the situation, because it was very painful to see the effort you put to go to a place and then you're being denied. I was just pacing up and down the whole house, because I was kind of depressed. I just went straight into depression and everything. So after a month or two, my dad was like, okay, let's reapply again to reapply for the visa. So I did the whole processing again, and I submitted my application again. But during this period I was helping my own friend too with his own application. And he was using past information, and I told him that things had changed, because they actually give you a checklist of things you need to submit, and I realized his own checklist was totally different from what I used. So I had to use my own checklist to help him. Eventually I helped him, and we got doing the whole application thing, and he submitted, and I submitted before him. And after some few months or so, he now told me he had gotten his visa. After a month I was called to come and pick up but I wasn't given. I was so sad. I was hurt that wow, this was someone, my friend, that helped, and now I'm not being accepted into this country. I was frustrated. I was very, very much depressed, and my dad said I needed some time off. I went. I thought it was going traveling was going to help, but it only worsened things, and I went totally straight into a dark place that I wasn't supposed to be in. Eventually, my dad had to travel down to come and meet me wherever I was, and he had to speak to me and encourage me that we need to keep trying again until we are tired of trying. So I applied again to. Oh, before even applying to another country, so we got back to the Canadian school and told them that I was being denied and I won't be making an attempt to apply for the visa, and the school refunded back our full money that we paid for the fees, which was an amazing thing from the school. The next country I applied for was Australia. So before I even applied for Australia, I got talking with my dad that, oh, I found this very nice school in Australia. And all this while I wanted to do further my makeup, that's my passion, in all these countries. So I told my dad said, Australia is too far. But if that's where you want us to go to, we'll do everything we can for you to go there. So I applied for the Australian visa and everything, and the Australian visa application is just the same thing as the Canadian one. They don't do interviews. You just submit your documents, they do your biometrics, and they'll send you like a code for you to track your application. And then when it finally gets back to the country, they just call you up to come and pick it. I think the whole Canadian processing was like almost like 6 months, and for the Australian one was either 2 months or 3 months. I waited during that period, and yeah, when my passport got back to me, there was a paper in the envelope and it said you have been denied. I wasn't really even worried about that, so I went about my life. And during this period, my dad got talking to one of our family friends, and the man was telling him how I should try and apply to the US. So my dad and I sat down, and our family friend told us that while I'm applying for schools, I shouldn't apply for a school to go and do makeup, but to do another course, like any other course. So that's what we did, and I applied to do like physical health education in a school in Atlanta. So I got the admission in the school, and the admissions people too were really amazing, very helpful, and also encouraging too. So I applied, went to the visa office, waited on this long queue because you are not allowed to carry your phones in and some couple of things. So I went, and during that period I was really sick. I went in, I had all my documents, everything was on point. It finally got to my turn, where this American lady interviewed me and told me, what am I going to study in the US, and what course, and who is sponsoring my education, and what is the assurance that when I travel to the US I'll come back. I answered all the questions, and when it got to that particular question, I was like, well, I have a business that I'm running here, so I just want to have further knowledge about this business, and after I'm done, I'm back here. But the lady was like, no, she brought out this paper, we won't be allowing you entry into the US. I took my paper, I left. I showed my dad, and during this period it didn't really hit, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to come back again. So I showed my dad, and my dad was like, we're going to try again. So I think after a week or two before applying again, we spoke to this family friend again, and he told me how to speak when they ask me questions, because in this visa office, your American interviewers, they're psychologists, and they want that you go straight to the point. They don't have time for you to say too much information and all that. So the man, that's our family friend, why I keep saying my dad's family friend. So our family friend acted like he's the American interviewer and I was the candidate, and then he started asking me questions and then he began to reply, and then my dad and I started to practice too. After 2 weeks passed, we applied again for American visa. I went in and I met this girl standing in front of me. We just got chit-chatting, although you are not supposed to talk, and I was like, well, I wish you good luck and everything, and she said, you too. I got in and she actually did her own interview before me, and the next thing I saw her jumping up and shouting she had actually been granted or accepted. Yeah. So like, okay, this is some form of encouragement for me. So I mean, it gets to my turn and I'm in front of this American man, and then his own questions were even more than the woman's own that asked me first. So he was like, who's sponsoring your education? Who is paying your fees? What does your dad do? When last did you travel? Why are you just going to the US now? What is the assurance that when you go to the US you're going to come back? And I answered the question. And he brought out this blue paper, and that's when he hit different. So I just smiled and I collected the paper, and he said, if you wish to apply again, you can. So walking out, I was reading the paper and they were stating reasons for me being denied this visa. And so like, no, you don't have any travel history, and trust me, I have a travel history. I attached my old passport there. Funny thing is, this guy didn't touch any of my documents. He didn't open it. He just looked at the front page of what the first document that was on top of it. He didn't even bother going through most of my documents. But I didn't fuss about it. I didn't say anything. So I walked out with the paper reading what was there. And then this security woman comes and says, madam, you don't get them. And I just smiled and I was like, it is well. I was so heartbroken. I was really hurt because I started thinking of these other countries that already tried to enter, and I was denied entry too. And I started walking towards the car park where my dad parked, and he was backing me, and I was sad because I was like, I don't know how this man's reaction would be. And then he turned and looked at me. I saw how down my face was and everything. And then he asked me, how did it go? I was like, well, I was denied. And I remember him squeezing my hand, and I saw his eyes really teary, and I got very teary that it was sounding in my voice that like I was just going to cry. And he asked me I should express my emotions to him, and I told him I was hurt, I was angry, I was frustrated. I don't just want to do this anymore because I feel it's just a waste of money. And my dad tried to console me because tears just started falling from my eyes, and that was like the first time I would ever see my dad cry, because he felt the pain I was feeling, and all what I could just get from that is that this child is not supposed to, or my daughter is not supposed to go through this. What I mean, and I cried too, and decided to encourage me that probably this isn't the right time for you to travel. Probably this is where here in Nigeria you're going to prosper and everything. But then I was fighting that, man. I don't know if I want to prosper in this Nigeria as well, but I know outside is calling me to prosper. You know, that kind of a thing. So I kept on battling with that thing that no, I'm not supposed to prosper here in Nigeria, no, this one and that one. It went on for a while, and I still went straight back into depression, and my mom became extremely scared. She wanted to talk to me, but this period of time, like, because I came back to Abuja again, my dad had to fly back again and check up on me, talk to me. Thank God for friends too that spoke to me, and even for people that care so much about me that prayed for me. I mean, it was a really sad moment and really heartbreaking moment for me, because trying Canada the first time, the second time you did not enter, trying Australia you didn't get, trying US again you didn't get, trying US again you didn't get, being denied 5 times, it was really sad. So like at this point in time, I was like, man, it is what it is. Maybe truly this is where God wants me to dwell. So I mean, this was what I went through, and at the end of the day, thanks to the help of my parents who were able to encourage me and bring me out of that situation I was in, all in the name of this stuff that I went through. So I mean, I know there are some people that have had similar experiences with me. Please tell me how you were able to handle these situations and what you did next after this experience. The most important thing I also learned during this whole thing was that it was a period for me to draw closer to God, and it was an amazing thing that I drew closer to God. So yeah, like, this is my personal experience. It's not too much of a happy one, but like, I mean, I thank God that I'm shining, I'm brighter, your girl is looking good and cute. Okay. So like, yeah, I'm happy and I'm really, really thankful that I went through that period and everything, and I'm doing better than that time. So here's me encouraging people that are at the verge of giving up, or have given up, that please don't give up. The fact that you're being denied once or twice or thrice doesn't mean you should give up. Keep pushing until you finally get that yes. You've gotten so many no's. Don't stop. Keep pushing till you finally get that yes. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Giving up is the worst thing that can ever happen to you, because you just don't know how close you are to your breakthrough, and it will be so sad that when you are this close to your breakthrough, you now give up. No way. There is no giving up in this zone. So guys, yeah, here is my experience, and I just thought to share it with you, and also to hear you guys' own personal stories back too. I mean, I'm still looking forward to traveling to these amazing countries. Yes, I know, Canada, Australia, US, they're all beautiful countries. Yes, so I'm looking forward to travel to these beautiful countries, and I mean, I know that day is coming. Yes, it's coming. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your amazing comments down below, and also don't forget to turn on your notification bells to know when I upload new videos here on my YouTube channel. So guys, this is me saying, never give up, keep pushing to get your breakthrough. So till next time guys, have an amazing day, and I love you guys. Bye.